how to change the line of your garden trimmer. Monk on the hill here, and this is a requested video. It's not really the season for trimming grass in Bulgaria at the moment because it's super hot and all my grass totally dried up, but it's requested, so I show it. And you might wonder why my spool, my spindle is off the trimmer. I actually don't recommend using that. I'll tell you why and what I think is better to use. Of course you can have that right on your trimmer while changing the lines, but now onto that. First you have to get the lid off somehow. Push these in from both sides. Lift it off. Here you have the lid, and the inner part, and the spring. It's kind of a release spring, so if that bottom gets pushed down you'll get more line, but I guess you know about that. Take some line. This is a little thicker and stiffer one that you maybe have, and again I'm not using that. I think you can have a longer piece. The longer you make it, the longer you can cut them off. Then find the middle, hold it a bit like that, and in here you'll find a notch like so. Get it hooked in, and then just go around both sides same way. Once you find a notch on the outside, you get that through here, so it's fixed. There's one on the opposite side. Get that in here as well. Put it back in a way that the lines come out of these openings. Once you have it in there, you can release it from the outside notches. Put the lid back on. Here you have the openings with stabilized metal around here. Make sure the string goes nicely into these metal bits. Push it all back together. These opening mechanisms are closing, and there you have it. That's pretty stable, and as soon as this gets pushed down it'll release more. While it's turning it'll be pulled out by itself. And now my thoughts about why you shouldn't use them. The one thing, so if the lines are too long, from the protection here there's this blade. Every time the line gets too long it'll get cut off. But the thing is, very often you're relatively bumpy with the trimmer, constantly hitting the ground. Hitting the ground means this mechanism is triggered. The older the whole spindle is, the weaker the spring in there gets, the easier it gets triggered. That means almost constantly the lines will be extended and constantly get cut off from that plate there. Not only your garden will be covered in cut off line bits and pieces everywhere, you will constantly have to change the line and constantly having to buy more and more of the line. What I found here in a shop is this metal head here, and it's super easy to mount. Since I'm having that, I'm only using that one, and it's on here for so long that I actually can't get it off anymore, so it must be baked on somewhere. But I'm totally fine with that because it's a really good tool. Then the other thing about this is you can use whatever line you want, even thicker materials with really sharp edges, so you can cut thicker grasses and even some brushes. But what I really found super useful, long lasting most importantly, is that thing here, because there's metal in there. This stuff is super durable. I remember in the beginning I was cutting my driveway with that. And when I was done with the driveway, that one was done. It was empty. Had to refill again. With that, I put it on my metal head there, and it was still good after the whole driveway. I just could keep on going on other spots. I'll show you how to change it there. So you find your hole to hold the whole thing, also from the inside there, that it won't turn anymore, like that. Then you have this one single simple key. You loosen this one screw, pull the old ones out. And you can see from the inside, that screw goes down or further up, just holding in whatever you're putting in there. Just because I'm having them laying around at the moment, you usually get these metal heads with some lines. Just put them in the holes from both sides, getting that screw tight. And that's it. They are stable. You can even make them longer, so you can cut a larger area. And another thing I would advise, move the protection. Either remove it all the way or move it upwards, so you can have the lines on your desired length. You're not dependent on the string here, and when the protection is higher up, it won't constantly get tangled up with all the grass or other plants you're cutting, so you have way more freedom up there. You get in smaller spaces. Just make sure yourself are protected if you don't have that protection there. You want to wear at least something like that. See all that bits and pieces on the screen? I'm happy I did not get hit with those. I'll put some Amazon links in the description for these metal heads, and maybe I'll even find the metal lines for you. They are really excellent. They are homestead approved. The lines will last you forever. So go have a look at them, and if you buy them there or general in Amazon buying something, you can support me a little bit by that. Thank you for this. Next spring I might make a longer trimmer video when I actually have something to cut with. I might go over some more topics and look at the whole machine. If you don't want to miss that, leave a subscribe. If the video helped, leave a like, and see you in the next one.